Hello, and welcome to another episode of Trackside Tips. My name is Storm Dafoe, and I am joined by Don McDougall, who is the Vice President of ASHA, and Fred Gillis, who is the Executive Director of ASHA. We are talking about Sunday's races at Century Mile Racetrack and Casino. Let's begin.
Okay, so the continuation of preparation week, Fred. Again, last time you told a little bit about how you get horses ready. If you were to choose to race the week before or not race the week before, Fred, what was your preference?
I have to say it's individualized. Some colts just...
Are you trying to become a politician here?
No, some colts need the work. They show it to you, and rather than train them hard by themselves or with an older racehorse, sometimes it's better to put them in with two-year-old competition because they need the work. Some horses appreciate the week off, a light training, and they'll come out and give you their best.
Right. So the first race, fillies and mares, 5,000 claiming price. Just so the people know, we're working off an entry sheet as opposed to a program. The programs were a little bit late, but we do know those horses pretty well. So, Fred, out of these ones, which one do you come up with?
Well, to finish off race 10 Friday, Keith dropped Freedom Rescue to the very bottom. It looks like he's culling out some of the horses towards the end of the season. Lively Rocket in here. Again, she hasn't done well for Keith. Showed flashes, but should like this bunch a lot better. Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing when I saw where where Keith had the horses entered. You definitely think there's a for sale sign on the back of them going around the racetrack and stuff. It was one of the horses I looked at. I'm going to look at a horse that everybody seems to rent for week to week and call out Golden Echo. So it seems that this horse is getting claimed every week, and nobody seems to want to race the horse up a class. Some weeks he's competitive, or she's competitive, gets the job done. And if I was going to throw in another horse, Sinalta Shade is getting really close to a race out of here. Last couple weeks she's been coming wide around there. If she gets a little bit softer trip, she could come in at a pretty big price. Second race, non-winners of 4, straight non-winners of 4, and again, a mix of some horses in here, Fred.
Yeah, there's 3 two-year-olds in here all going to the super finals, and I'm going to go with one of them. Kelly Hortz, he has the rail, criminal record. I think he works out a trip. Only has to pace for home to beat this bunch.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 6-horse, No Better Parade. It's one of Dave Lamont's that I think, if I remember right, I think this horse is in the stakes in the super finals. In the 3-year-old, I want to say that the horse is in either the final or the consolation. Either way, this horse seems to show up with some pretty good miles, and when you get older horses racing against 2-year-olds, I just tend to bet the older horses. So I think the 6-horse has a shot, and according to the overnight sheets, is a pretty big price. I don't think it'll be as big a price.
No,
though,
probably not.
Race 3, fillies and mares, non-winners of 5 and 7,500 claimers. An interesting group, Fred.
I know. I got a horse here that I don't know why, but she keep coming out to me, and it's Outlaw Calamity Jane. I think she's kind of an honest mare, and if Phil can work out a trip with her, I think she's competitive with this group, and I'm going to give her a shot.
Yeah, I wanted to go with Remember the Party, but this mare for the Century Club just can't draw posts.
No.
Every time there's just some horses that just have no luck drawing posts. So I'm going to stick with a trainer who's really got his horses racing pretty good right now. Kevin Hildebrandt's got these Manitoba horses going pretty good. Tammy Blue is one that raced really well last week. Tougher class, in my opinion, for what she's racing against here. But along the rail, I think this horse could get a really good trip inside this race. So I'm going to give the Manitoba boys a little bit of prop and say he can bring this horse home. Phil drove a lot of them, but James Junkus will get along fine with this mare. The 4th race is 5,000 claimers for the boys. Well, we'll give this one over to Storm.
Yeah, my pick of the day is going to be in here with Lizard King. Again, I correctly touted this horse last week. He won fairly easily and is back with almost the same group, so we should expect the same results.
Yeah, it sure looks like I can't see anything that's going to beat him. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this race.
Storm's picking percentage is ahead of ours, by the way.
I think it is. I really do.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it for sure was that day.
Sunday.
This last Sunday, I apologize in advance for anything that happened or in afterwards for Sunday. That was just a card that after 2 races, the Win 4 pool, I think, was carried over. Yeah. It was just a lot of funny stuff going on Sunday, so you never know. Maybe it's Sundays. Okay, 5th race. Maidens, 5 years old and younger. Mix of young and old horses, Fred.
Yes, there is a good combination, and again, some going to the super finals. I really like the 9-horse Burger. I think he's been pretty consistent all year for Nathan. I think Nathan will get a pretty good trip behind Keith with that sometime somewhere. Big kind of horse, gets away from the gate okay. I think Nathan works out a trip and gets the job done.
Blue burner too. A lot of them have some pretty good speed. So I'm going to try a different 2-year-old. I'm going to try the 6 horse. I'm a mama's boy. Another horse that's kind of prepping. Brandon likes to win races, so they're going to be bringing this horse from off the pace. I kind of like Vertical Horizons as young horses. So this horse is throwing some good races and some average races, but I think this week I'm a mama's boy might stick his head in front. So the 6th race, non-winners of 2 or 9,500, straight non-winners of 2, and I found this race interesting, Fred.
I thought it was a good bunch of the 2-year-olds in here, but I went with a 3-year-old. A Better Moment, Bob Sabrin. I like this horse. I like the way Bob trains a horse, and I think he sets good here. Kelly's up on him, and I think they'll get the picture.
Yeah, definitely good to have one of the older ones in there. I went back and forth between a couple horses, but Paul Davies likes to win races, so I went with a 1 Outlaw for Your Eyes Only. One that was bred out of Smart Shark, and Paul's had a lot of success with Smart Sharks with Outlaw Grabbing Gears and a couple others, so that was one that I thought had a chance, but I think you had a different opinion, Storm.
I did. My long shot's in here with Horse.
What horse?
Horse the Horse.
What
It's my
horse?
favorite name on the program, too. 2-year-old Vertical Horizon colt who tried his luck in the stakes competition with results that were on the fringes. He likes to come from behind, and he draws a good post in this race, so that's who I'm going to go with, Horse.
If you're looking for a long shot and a lack of creativity in a name, that's your horse for the day. 7th race, non-winners of $3,399 and also eligible $16,000 claiming. Something tells me they open it up by a couple dollars for somebody, Fred.
I have big bold print here. It says Retro's Mystery wins in a romp.
I'm not sure it's going to be a romp, but I do agree. I think that Dave took that horse back last week off the outside post. I think he wanted to get this horse a little bit of a trip. He'd been on the front every week, and bashing against Icy Blue Scooter isn't the easiest task to be doing every week either. That colt's the best one in Western Canada, in my opinion, right now. So I'm going to agree with you for once in my life, and I'm going to take Retro's Mystery also. I think this horse goes back to the front this time. Maybe gets a little bit of a tussle from I'm a Dude, because that horse likes to be inside there. That horse is not really brave, though. I think Brandon will accept the 2-hole behind there, so I think Restore Mystery is a winner in there, too. The 8th race, non-winners is 6, straight non-winners is 6. Again, some horses prepping, Fred.
There is, but the class horse is in here, too. Icy Blue. Is this in the right race?
No.
No. I'm a race ahead of myself.
Do you want to start all over again? Okay, you can cut that out, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, 8th race, non-winners is 6, straight non-winners is 6. A bunch of horses prepping for the super finals in here, Fred.
There is, and I'm going to take an outsider and a long shot in here, or I think he'll be a long shot, is Outlaw Blue Ice. He's had a pretty good career since Mike Hennessy and Crystal, yes, have had him. I'm the horse win down the track on 2. He raced awesome, 53-4 his last start there. And I think he's brave on top of his game, and I think he'll pay a price and worth some value.
Yeah, I think he's racing a little bit over his head at this point against some of them, but he definitely raced really good down there. And this horse was a good stakes horse in his own right, just kind of on the fringes with the big finals and stuff, but got pieces of it. So Mike and Crystal have done a great job with this horse, but that's not enough for me to pick him. I didn't pick him most of the time at track on 2, so why am I going to start up here, right? And I kind of didn't want to pick him after a little while because I figured I'd jinx them by getting on it. So I'm going to go with Outlaw Guns A-Blazing. I think this horse is getting ready for the super finals. It's got a huge brush coming down the lane, and I think Jamie can do pretty much whatever he wants to. He can leave a little bit if he wants to, or he can come from the back. I have a feeling Dave Kelly might send HF the Great Pumpkin to the front. That seems to be where that horse races a little bit better. But I think Outlaw Guns A-Blazing is probably a little bit sharper than the other horses coming in here. So not going to pay a huge price, unfortunately, but they're not all. To me, I saw a few more favorites on this card than I did on the other card. So that could be a bad thing based on what happened last Sunday. 9th race, non-winners of 5,001, last 3. Also eligible 20,000 claimers, and the invite horses drawn on the outside. Fred, this is probably not a race we're going to spend a lot of time on either.
No, Icy Blue. You got to stay with him. He's still, to me, the best aged horse in Western Canada. And
I think it's down to 2 horses, though, really, Fred, because last time the race was a little bit more competitive, and Sabine Pass picked them up pretty easily. This horse won.
He's an honest horse.
Horse won by a lot. So last week, Sabine Pass got to sit on Icy Blue Scooter's backside going up the track. Based on the post draws and stuff, Nathan might get that trip off them, too. So Sabine Pass is really hot right now, and I think this horse is going to pay, even though on the program odds it says that Sabine Pass is 8-5, and Icy Blue Scooter is 2-1. I don't think that's going to be what the betting is going to be.
No, I think Sabine's second choice.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think you'll get a little bit better price. And this horse sure raced sharp last week. Definitely got a trip, but I can't see why this horse isn't going to get a trip again here. And the 10th race, Fillies and Mares, non-winners of 1801. This is a race that might be for a lot of money, as we talked about in the last card. Friday, there's a big carryover in the high five. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't go on Friday, it comes into this race. Fred, did you come up with something that somebody can make some money off of?
Again, I'm gone to the favorite. So Paperback Thriller, I got her on top of the high five. She's good honest mare, Don. Don't throw very many bad races. Well spotted with the 2-hole. And I think she's the one to beat in here. Yeah, she's been a little bit inconsistent with Sanford so far. So thrown a couple, first start, I think, was a killer race. And then after that, kind of been in and out a little bit. I'm going to go with the horse that hasn't popped for a few weeks. I'm going to try the 1 horse, Steady Breeze. I think Kelly's going to get a real good trip with this horse. This horse likes to leave. And so does Paperback Thriller also. Paperback Thriller's best races are on the front. Kelly might be able to tuck this horse into the 2-hole. Hopefully a couple horses come at the 2 horse, and the 1 horse might be able to leg it out down the stretch. But I think this race, I think honestly, if it's a carryover from Friday night, I think it gets carried over again, because to me, it's a pretty formful race. A few horses who could finish 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but I think the top couple horses are between the 1, 2, and 9 horses. For sure.
Here.
Big Sure's an honest big mare.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Don and Fred. Post time on Sunday at Century Mile Racetrack and Casino is going to be at 1:15 p.m. My name is Storm Dafoe, and we will see you at the races.